license to attend air shows, but there are some etiquette rules that you need to follow while you're attending. We're going to talk to some people about the do's and the don'ts of air show etiquette. Do it again. Don't walk between the camera and the subject at the air show. All right, Neil, tell us a do when you go to an air show.
Okay, do be respectful of the aircraft. They are more fragile than a car. So there's fabric on the control surfaces, there's soft aluminum, so do be respectful of the aircraft. And do not enter an aircraft without permission from the owner.
Don't argue with the owner of the airplane when you try to tell them that that's not what it really is, and had that happen before. So.
Okay, don't argue with the owner.
Right.
They walked right past the sign that talks all about the airplane, and they want to stop you when you're busy to ask you questions that the sign tells you.
There's a do.
Yeah.
Read the signs.
Exactly.
Billy, tell us a little bit about the things that you've seen that people probably shouldn't do while they're here.
You know, I've been to a few air shows, and having been a part of the crew of the B-17 aluminum overcast, I've seen a few people do some things that are a little bit, not too good to do around aircraft. Some of the things include touching aircraft. Always make sure you talk to the owner of your the aircraft before you go up and touch their airplane. Other thing is make sure you listen to the smoking signs. Smoking around these airplanes can be really dangerous, especially with all the fumes from fuel and oil and everything else. So we want to make sure we don't want to do that.
We managed to track down Julie Christie, and tell us a do for an air show. What do you definitely do when you go?
Do try to get free tickets.
Excellent. Now, what about a don't? What should you definitely not do?
Okay, don't try to get too close to the plane to get a picture, because a prop will straight up kill you. I'm just letting you know.
Don't do that.
And probably one of the, it's funny now, wasn't funny then, but back in the early 80s, one of the first air shows I did, there was a group of us in L-birds, and we were briefing, and a guy came over and said, "I got your airplanes running for you." And we turned around, and he had about 6 airplanes. He'd propped them all for us in the middle of the crowd without any security or anything. And he was a crew chief on L-birds in World War II, so he still knew how to start them. So that was kind of fun.
That sounds a little scary. So you're interested in an aircraft. They've got the little sandwich boards or whatever.
Yep, exactly. Talks all about the airplane.
Right. Read those first.
Right. Then bother the pilot. Yeah.
Then bother the pilot.
Exactly.
Yes. Now here you have some definite don'ts that we haven't heard yet.
Yeah, I got some that keep people alive. It's real common for hats to blow off at an air show, prop wash, or a windy day like we're experiencing here at Sun Fun. Don't chase that hat. I have seen people chase a hat into pitot probes and fuel vents that are hanging down, and you can imagine the worst being have a hat chased into a propeller. Don't chase things that get blown off.
As the crew members are busy carrying stuff, putting oil in the airplane, fueling the airplane, doing what they do, customers, strangers, air show attendees will walk up to you and say, "Hey, hey, 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 excuse me," and you turn around and say, "What?" Because you're busy. And they say, "How'd you get these airplanes here?" And you look at them because you're at the airport with the runway.
How'd you get the airplanes here?
We have a canned answer. So we tell them that we barged them up the Mississippi, put them on a truck, took them down the highway, and put them together last night right here just for them to come out and see.
Wow, you do that? You can put together a whole airplane in a night?
We assemble them overnight just for the people to see.
Gosh, I never knew that.
I know.
I have caught people backing up because they hear an airplane coming, so they start backing up. Do not walk backwards at an air show because the noise ahead of you is noisier than the prop that's turning behind you, and that is a very real hazard. So I've stopped people from walking backwards into a propeller.
Don't walk backwards. Tell us something you should do at an air show.
Drink a lot of water.
Drink a lot of water.
This guy came and put his kids on top of one of the L-birds, and they were running back and forth and stomping through the fabric and tearing it all up. And then, of course, he pays his taxes, so he's got a right to put his kids wherever he wants because these are government airplanes.
Of course. Right. Couldn't be owned by civilians.
No.
Keep your kids close on a leash if possible. That black, it looks like an eye right there.
Oh, that thing. This is not the camera.
This is not the camera.
Okay.
Definite don't. Don't ruin TV crews' shots when you walk past them. So what should you definitely do at an air show?
When you land after a long cross country in the hot summer sun, someone should bring you a cold beer when you shut down the airplane.
So bring the pilot a beer.
Bring the pilot a beer.
A cold beer.
It's mandatory.
Is there a rule book for this?
There is. Pilot rule book #1 for warbird pilots, yeah.
We'll have to look on that.
Yeah, it's there. Promise.
What is the stupidest thing you've ever seen somebody do?
You know, I've seen some pretty crazy things, from people just going up and smearing their hands all over beautiful airplanes, or going on and grabbing airplanes thinking they can support their body weight at certain places. But I still think the worst I've seen was a person or a lady wearing heels trying to walk across the wing of a fabric-covered aircraft.
Oh, how did you even get up there?
You know, that's the question.
You just climbed up on the plane?
Absolutely.
No, no touching planes. What's the stupidest thing you've ever seen a spectator do?
Try to climb up on somebody's plane
Yeah?
without asking.
Without asking?
That's a big one.
This is a recurring don't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Don't touch
big.
the planes. Don't touch the planes.
Touching is not so much the
You gotta
bad
ask.
thing. Yeah, definitely ask, but just arbitrarily climbing onto somebody's plane, no, that'd be bad.
And I'll tell you the stupidest thing I've done in flight training.
You gonna tell on
This
yourself?
should be, oh yeah, totally
All
gonna
right,
tell on
okay, go
myself.
ahead.
It's too funny not to. So you're doing crosswind landings in a tailwheel, and you're coming down to land, and you hit the numbers right where you're supposed to. So you get excited, and you completely let up your crosswind correction and take out a runway light. Yeah, that's pretty stupid. Don't do that. You wanna keep that correction in, probably. Yeah. But the good news is there's like 40 more runway lights for me to take out, so I got some time.
Yeah. So those were the do's and the don'ts of air show attendance. Now, you can come to the air show, but please observe some of these etiquette rules. Stay safe.